Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Thursday, June 25th, 2015. Ra, Asha, and Pan in the Lynn-Body-Mind, Black Wolf in the Jamie Body-Mind. We have discovered there are more Vanovanovs among us than suspected. Vanovanovs are a mixed blessing. Very talented and very stubborn, and can be a hazard on the course or a great gift on the course, and that swings wildly from one setting to the next.
That's true.
We have an open question on the table, and that question is how best to use this gift of Vanovanovs among us. That is what we're holding up to wiser minds above. And as always, our background intention is to do what is ours to do in all dimensions right now, to trigger the awakening right now. And with that, it begins. The question comes in, what do you know? I know that we are told what to do and that the protocols are clearly defined, and that making exceptions doesn't ever work. The rules apply to all of us equally.
That's true.
And I know that we have been told very clearly what to say to non-physical presences.
That's true.
First, that there are souls trapped in the physical, cut off from higher dimension support.
That's true.
The Vanovanovs seem to be well aware of that because they can identify their own lower presences down there struggling in the muck.
That's true.
And they're not confused that those beings seem to be completely unable to hear anything that the higher presences are trying to say to
That's
help
true.
their own lower souls.
That's true.
That point seems to be made. Yes, indeed, these beings cannot hear guidance. They're not convinced that the beings are cut off from support, though. So
That's true.
it looks like our experiments that we've been conducting today are getting ready to continue.
That's true.
So, friends, let's work with your own lower souls. Each of you find your own lower soul, a lower soul.
That's
you
true.
don't have to find all 100,000 of them if you have that many, but just one will do.
That's true.
And now attempt to discern with your own channels up and your own reach, target to target, channels up, asking, look, you've got to ask up. Don't ask that being what he or she needs, because he or she is clearly confused about almost everything
That's
in
true.
life. You can see that, right?
Yes, nodding. Everyone's nodding.
So what many of you were doing right then, you were saying, what do you need? That's the wrong direction. Look up to your own highest soul that you're able to maintain contact with, who is as close to the center of the bullseye as you're able to get to right now.
That's true.
Ask your own higher soul, given that many of you are, and rightly so, suspicious of input from others, given all the sabotage and whatnot that your family has incurred over
That's
the
true.
eons. We understand that suspicion, but at least ask your own higher soul, who's as close to the center of the bullseye as you can get right now,
That's true.
what would be actually helpful for the lower presence down there in the muck.
That's true.
An attempt to discern. So I see a lot of people like saying their ears aren't working,
Yeah.
they can't hear, static on the line.
Yeah.
This is how it is to try to live multidimensionally for real, not for pretend. It's
That's
far
true.
more challenging than anybody wants to believe. We can't hear, and we are in the non-physical right now.
That's
And
true.
so, of course, those beings down there can't hear where it's so loud.
That's true.
Now, how about this? Just hold your hands out and ask your own higher souls, as close to the center of the bullseye as you can get right now, to drop into your hands whatever it is that lower soul needs right now in order to live his or her soul plan. Just hold out your hands and ask for this to be given, and it's for us to catch it. So become aware and wait for that object to come down and then catch it.
I see things dropping into their hands.
I do too. And I feel things dropping
into
my
my
own
own
hands.
hands.
Okay, now connect again, asking to be shown which of your lower souls this object is destined for, because it may not be the one that you think it is. And I see for many of you that's actually the case, that you think it's that lower soul that's so close to you, but in large part these are lower souls who have wandered off or are too far down and aren't able to hear a darn thing, and they're headed hard in the wrong direction. Like whoever's lower soul that guy is walking down that tunnel, that's the one. And whoever's soul this one is, kind of like standing in the pasture doing nothing with his cow, that's the one.
That's true.
And this person who's in the rowboat and keeps rowing up and down the same stretch of river looking for something that isn't there, that's the one.
That's true.
And that one who's desperately digging in the, it looks like, entrance to a coal mine for his dead children who are dead, and standing behind him as ghostly presences saying, "Dad, Dad."
That's true.
That's the one. Okay. It looks now like everybody has the right person.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, now try to get this thing that's in your hands to that person.
I see people like trying to stuff it into tubes and like trying to stir it into water and pour it down.
And I see them also just sticking their hands down, but it's odd. It's like their hands disappear below the water line.
That's true.
And they don't know what to make of that, and they
pull it back up
and they're
and
sticking
pull it back
down again, and
That's
it just
true.
it doesn't make it through the veil.
That's true.
Take as long as you need. Really go for it.
I see some of them trying to throw it.
We would actually like to solve this challenge. We've been attempting to solve it for a very long time, and we've been unable to.
That's true.
So go for it, like you mean it. We'll wait.
That's true.
I had made a little eternal bubble, so they have had all the time they needed.
That's true.
And now they seem to be concluding that they don't know how to do that either.
That's true.
So far, do we have consensus that these poor lower souls of ours cannot hear us, and that we do not seem to be able to get either messages or assistance to them?
Nodding. Everyone seems to be nodding.
Our lower souls are cut off from higher dimension support, in other words, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, this is the challenge. What has been put forth as the decree from wiser minds above is that for all of us in the non-physical, to not just dive in unless our own alignment is good enough to meet the alpha testing machine.
That's true.
And our own attitudes are good enough to meet the alpha testing machine.
That's true.
Because without that, immediately we ourselves will be as helpless as they are.
That's true.
And this was the point of our earlier segment of testing and experimentation this morning. Does anyone have any remaining doubts on your own ability to function effectively in the muck down there in the physical?
No, big emphatic head shakes.
Right, so we can't go in, or we too will be lost immediately, is pretty much how it seemed to turn out.
Yeah, there feels like there's no doubt in the room about that.
That's a very bad plan.
Yeah.
So
Laughing.
what we have left is the assignment to us is to, if we have access to any part of a takedown system, to grant the euthanasia prayer of Asha, who is actually genetically a Vanovanov.
That's true.
She's one of you.
That's true.
As technically,
one of us.
Am I a Vanovanov?
That's true.
Me, Ra. As
Me,
technically,
Black Wolf.
Black Wolf is
It's true.
a Vanovanov. Now Pan is emphatically not a Vanovanov.
That's true.
And thank goodness for Pan, because without him we would not have realized that Black Wolf was a Vanovanov. But Pan recognized him from the class that he taught when we were at the Vanovanovs, and Pan taught the slow learner group.
That's true.
And what we notice is that we have a couple of the slow learners in our midst as our among the top performers of Team Awakening.
That's true.
And none of the fast learners have made it at all.
No, that's
So
true.
if you have access to any part of the takedown system, first test it.
That's
See
true.
whether or not it actually works. See what it actually does and doesn't do.
That
If we
is
make a
true.
mistake, we can always back
back
up and
and correct
correct
it.
Everyone on this declaration
That's
has
true.
already signed that we will absolve you of any bad karma that comes from an overreaction on your part.
That's true.
You keep the bad karma for all of your underreactions.
That's true.
So the instruction is to test your takedown system and see what it does and doesn't do. So I see many of you pulling out buttons and remote controls and other gadgetry, all looking pretty high-tech.
That's true.
On the count of 3, let's do it then, right?
That's
1,
true.
2,
3.
3, go. There's like a whoomp and a collapse way down deep
That's
in
true.
the subatomic. I heard that.
That's
Whoomp.
true.
Good job. Let's do it again, see what else happens. A much tinier sound, a far smaller sound,
That's
or I'm
true.
missing something. And then maybe press it one more time on the count of 3, everybody all together, just to be sure we aren't missing something. 1, 2, 3, go. Just a whisper.
That's true.
All right. Who sees that as a successful test of a working takedown system?
Everyone's laughing.
It was a successful experiment in that we discovered something. And
That's
what
true.
we discovered is that it doesn't
work.
Are all of you willing to sign this paper that you have conducted a test of your takedown systems and they don't work as designed and advertised?
Yes. The signatures just appeared on the paper. Boom, 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 boom.
Well, these are talented people.
That's true.
So now, the assignments to us in the non-physical, given these realities, that there are souls trapped in the physical without higher dimension support or guidance, they're
Yes.
cut off from higher dimension support, and that our takedown systems, our abilities to respond to their euthanasia prayers don't work.
Yes, that's true.
That what we are supposed to do is first seal the ceiling as high up as we can reach to contain the contagion.
That's true.
Because we are clearly inside a contaminated zone, right?
That's true.
And does anyone have any doubt whatsoever about that?
No doubts.
And I feel some people pushing buttons that seem to, it's kind of like a sunroof on a car.
Yes, that's true.
But it's not seeming to close
Not
the
all the
roof.
way, no.
That's no longer works,
That's
apparently. So that's good information, live streaming this.
Way,
The ceiling seals don't even work anymore.
That's true.
So that goes up to wiser minds above. But now the most compelling instruction to us is this. Get these malfunctioning takedown systems to work.
That's true.
And while we're at it, let's get these malfunctioning fire break or ceiling systems to work as well.
That's true.
And so there are 2 projects that require some level of, I'd call it engineering skill or imagination or creativity or invention.
That's true.
And so those of you who feel called to either of those, please start gravitating toward either the takedown button team
Yes.
or the ceiling team.
Yes.
And those of you who feel like there's something been missing from this equation, remember that those souls are still trapped in the physical and that we can fish for them.
I see a small group who are wanting to be fishers. That's
yes,
true.
wanting to be fishers of men.
That's true.
And so we applaud that work as well, and to rescue all souls down there. Of course, you're aiming where your own lower souls are, but if you
Yes.
catch another soul on the line, bring him or her up. Bring him or her up
This
out
is
of
true.
the physical. Just bring up whoever you can get
That's
out.
true.
And just as we can break apart log jams by pulling apart one log or 2, perhaps we'll be able to break apart this jam
true.
of souls who are needing to exhale back out of the physical and into the non-physical.
That's true.
So just get the closest limb.
Yes,
And
that's true.
It's a pun about logs and branches and arms and legs.
That's true.
Get the closest limb and draw him or her out. Don't worry about species or whether or not you would even define it as living, because everything is sentient.
That's true.
And it doesn't matter what you can get. Even a drop of water is sentient
That's
and
true.
defines him or herself as a unit.
That's true.
And when we pour that drop of water into a cup, the drop of water sees he or she as part of the oneness that's in the cup.
That's
and then we
true.
pour that water from the cup into a bucket, and we can now see we're part of the oneness that's in the bucket
That's
and
true.
into the ocean, and so on and so on.
That's true.
So rescue what you can. Now is the time.
That's true.
3 teams then. Fixing the takedown button systems.
That's true.
And the takedown lever systems and all the takedown systems.
That's true.
Fixing the ceiling systems.
Yes, that's true.
And also fishing and drawing up the souls directly until we can get the giant exhale to occur and we all get our collective fresh start at once.
That's true.
It's not that the slow learners can win the race. It's that truth wins the race.
That's true.
And those who proclaim themselves fast learners, and I am committed to staying at a 1,000 to 1 ratio for all eternity.
That's true.
And then it didn't last a week.
That's true.
That's not a commitment. That's a lie about committing.
That's true.
So lies don't work.
No. The truth does.
Nothing but the truth does work.
That's true.